Well, hello there. On today's episode of Reaching Wonderland, I want to talk about the weight loss blame game. Hey, ladies, this is Coach Michelle, and I am here with, some tips and some ideas and a lot of stories about reaching Wonderland or getting below 199 on the scale. In my membership, we have the Wonder Sisters Inner Circle, which is all about using habits to reach your weight loss goal and stay there. But we sprinkle in a whole lot of mindset. Most of us know what we should be eating, but when we get that feeling of not being able to control what we're doing, the world feels more than a little crazy. So today I want to talk about that weight loss blame game. Let me ask you a question. How much time do you spend blaming others for your diet blunders? It's a serious question. Do you feel like other people are responsible for your eating? Are you getting mad when they bring food into the office or when your husband brings home, junk that you quote unquote can't have? Are you blaming your family because they bring foods in that you can't eat? All of these things really came to a head here not too long ago, and I had to put out this newsflash. You can eat it. You can even eat it and stay on track. You can even eat it and lose weight. What you can't do is overeat it. Somebody had I posted a question about what keeps taking you off track, and her response was gluttony. And because she wanted it, she ate it. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with eating the food when you want it, as long as you're hungry and as long as it doesn't make your body feel bad. And you know what? There's sometimes foods I eat that I know are going to make my body feel bad, but I love them and I eat them anyway. But I eat them within reason and I eat them on a plan. And I know how it's going to affect me the next day. And it's a conscious choice. It's no one else's problem that I can't control myself with food. Some foods. I have to take steps to keep my red light foods at an arm's length and not at a mouth length. And it allows me to stay on track and maintain my weight loss now for almost 7 years. So I know it sounds totally harsh and I get it. And I used to be totally horrible with myself, giving myself this great big long list of foods that I couldn't eat. And some of the ladies in the membership were even talking about how they were terrified of carbs. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with carbs. You can eat carbs. The devil is not the carb. The devil is processed carbs. The ones with all the extra sugar and extra everything that takes us off track. 9 times out of 10, if you make it yourself and you can eat it within reason, it's not going to take you off track. So it's kind of like way back when, before I made all of these changes, I used to get really mad at my husband because he wanted to go do fun things with his friends that I didn't like to do. Yeah, I know. It's really messed up, but it's really true. I would get all upset because there were things he wanted to do with his friends that it's not that I wanted to go with him. It's that I didn't want that separation because I didn't want to be alone with myself. So it's kind of messed up, and I know this now, and I knew it then. But it's kind of like my relationship with food. I wanted those really sweet things, just like I'm sure there's things out there that you really want, that you have pigeonholed in your brain, that you simply cannot have those foods and lose weight. takes switching that story in our brain to make it such that we realize we are choosing not to have the foods, not that we can't have the foods. These are the things that we do in the inner circle, is we really, really work on finding ways to change this story in our head. And it's often not just about this. It's also about the fact that I didn't want to spend time with myself. So I didn't want my husband to go off and do fun things either, because misery loves company. I wanted to keep him close, and I felt better when he was there. So therefore it was his job to make me feel better, and it was his job to stay there. Let me just say we had a lot of fights for a lot of years. Fortunately, it's not that way anymore. But, once upon a time, I was not the funnest person on the face of the planet to live with. Now, when he says I'm going to play golf with the guys, I'm like, go, honey. I'll go work out. I've got this list of things to do. I'm going to go meditate. I'm going to go read this book. All things that make me feel good about me that have nothing to do with him. Just like him going to play golf with his buddy is all about him going to play golf and him feeling good about himself. And then there's times when we go together and play golf, because I do enjoy playing golf now. But it's that ability to separate and become this individual person by yourself. And same thing with the food. The ability to realize that the food is not the devil. The food is not a horrible thing. The food is a source of fuel to your body. You can choose to eat it or choose not to eat it. Just like I can choose to meditate and work out and do things that make me feel good inside, and then feel good about the fact that my husband is going off and doing things that make him feel good. These all tie in together into the weight loss. My weight made me a very miserable person. That misery had a hard time with him doing things fun without me. Now that I am me and I strive to do things that make me feel good, when he goes out and does things that make him feel good, it makes me feel better too. So the same going back to this whole concept of getting angry with people for bringing food in. I often wanted to be the normal person. And it always seems to be that it's the normal people that bring in all these foods and they walk by, grab one, and they're done for the day. I wanted to be that person. I became that person over time. This journey is about more than eat less and move more. I say that all the time. It's about creating this person that you want to be so that you respond the way you dream of being in different situations. So, going back to my initial question, which was, are you playing the weight loss blame game? The whole concept of blaming someone else for the food you're eating and for them bringing it in is so hard to get around, because you're blaming them, you're blaming yourself, you're feeling horrible. But how can you create a habit that either allows you to take one bite and walk away and stay on track, or a habit that allows you to walk by it and it not even faze you? The way I did it was, I repeatedly told myself, I'm going to choose to be healthy. I could have that, but I choose not to, because it's not going to help me reach my goal. Now, did that prevent my mouth from watering and me from thinking about eating whatever tray was sitting there? No. But over time, as I spaced out the moments when I gave in, because, having that treat is a choice. Choosing to give in is a choice. When we change the words in our head saying the food has control versus us having a choice, it changes the power. Because if you look at the food, It's laying there in a plate or in a bowl. It has no power other than the power we give it. And I chose to take my power back. So I would like for you to choose to take your power back and try out this whole concept of, I choose not to touch that today. It's not that I can't have it. It's that I choose not to have it. And here's why it's important to include that entire phrase. When you eliminate somebody telling you you can't have something, it lowers that feeling of you have to have it. Because whenever somebody tells you you can't have something, you want it. Whenever you focus on what you can't have, you want it more and more and more, and it takes over and it takes control. So if you are making the choice and you're telling yourself, well, you could have that, but you choose not to, you're putting the control back inside you and removing the control that inanimate object has over you. And that is like one of the biggest power tips that I learned as I was going through this process. What I coach on is how to create a habit around that. But just starting and being aware and using those words, catching yourself, is like the first step. That's the first step to being aware and doing that. The next step is creating a habit out of it, which is what we dig in deeper to later. But I hope this really, really empowers you to stop getting angry at yourself and at the people around you for the food they're choosing to eat versus the food you're choosing to eat. Remember, it's a choice. And when it becomes a conscious choice and you're saying, I can have it, I choose not to have it now, it helps eliminate that horrible feeling inside of your being left out. And it also helps if you choose to have a little bit of it and then walk away, because you can say, I chose to limit this. This is what I had, and now I'm walking away. Remembering that you have the power, the inanimate food does not. All right, ladies, I'm going to send you off with love and hugs. I hope you got a tremendous value out of this. I want you to remember that you can do anything for 5 minutes, and it's the small, consistent steps that you do daily that will get you to your goal. If you're ready to start digging more into ditching that nasty diet and, maybe start implementing habits, I would love, love, love to see you in the inner circle. And, you can get there by going to wonderlandwellness.net/wonder-sisters. That's the wait list for the next time I open the door. And behind that wait list is a awesome little piece of coaching, even if I do say so myself, with the 4 pillars of weight loss. So until next time, have an amazing day. Sending you off with some love and hugs.